This is a CBS News Detroit update.
Good Thursday morning. I'm Chris Saladin with a look at some of the top stories we're working on. We begin with a developing story that impacts all of us. A federal trade court rules that President Trump cannot impose sweeping tariffs on imports under an emergency powers law. The ruling from a 3-judge panel says the 10% tariffs on virtually every U.S. trading partner exceed the president's legal authority. The White House says unelected judges should not be deciding how to properly address what President Trump calls a national emergency. We're working this hour to get details on a large police situation that unfolded on Detroit's west side late Wednesday night. As part of the investigation, police closed part of 7 Mile between Tracy and Schaefer. It looks like a vehicle crashed into a light pole at the scene. We'll update the story as more information becomes available. The Pontiac mom accused of abandoning her children heads back to court today as the case moves one step closer to trial. 34-year-old Kelly Bryant is facing 3 counts of first-degree child abuse after her 3 children, a 15-year-old boy and 13 and 12-year-old girls, were found living alone in filthy conditions. Police have testified they were stunned by what they found.
Myself and everybody involved in this investigation were deeply bothered by the condition and the circumstances in which the children are living, and for her to be primarily concerned about her own well-being or her future, it was bothersome.
Bryant is also facing welfare fraud charges. She's due in court today at 9. Also happening this morning, the family of Patrick Lyoya is speaking out about what they plan to do after the prosecutor's decision not to retry the former police officer who shot and killed Lyoya during a traffic stop. Christopher Schur had been charged with second-degree murder, but the case ended in a mistrial. And there's a consumer alert. The FDA is expanding its nationwide recall on cucumbers. The recall alert now includes products sold at Kroger stores here in Michigan. The cucumbers may be contaminated with salmonella. The FDA says the cucumbers were also sold as part of vegetable trays, sushi, and sandwiches. And now let's check in with Troy for our next weather forecast this Thursday. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning, Chris. Today a little warmer than yesterday. We go to a high of 72 and we're mostly dry. We'll start this morning with a little bit of fog and a little bit of mist, but it won't be a big deal out there. A slight chance at 10% or less for a couple of showers this afternoon. Next weather futurecast shows just that. You see the white indicating all the cloud cover. At times we will see a break in those clouds, but we will see a couple of showers. You see that for the thumb. Areas like Port Huron, we could see a sprinkle or two later in the afternoon. For Detroit, most of us, though, will be dry today with mostly cloudy skies. And then as we take you into tomorrow, minimal rain chances, but then we track another chance for a few showers late Friday at 8 o'clock. But again, nothing too widespread as we watch that area of low pressure eventually push out of the way altogether. So for the weekend, we are looking good, dry and sunny. High temperatures today going into the upper 60s to low 70s. 70 for Adrian today, 72 in Detroit, warming to 66 in Pontiac, 67 in Howell. Early morning temperatures tomorrow, much like this morning, in the mid-50s, 53 for Detroit, all because of the added clouds. Today, again, 1 or 2 showers. Tomorrow, pretty much the same, but warming tomorrow to 76. And then for the weekend, good and dry with lots of sun, warming to 70 on Saturday, 73 on Sunday, the 80s next week. Chris, back to you.
Thanks for that, Troy. And that is a look at your headlines. We'll be back later covering stories that matter to you on air and streaming on the CBS News app and Pluto TV.